Yeah, it's going to be pretty interesting seeing how they're going to run that. And I mean, offlane techies, are they a different version of Team Secret? Is that where they're going to run that? Maybe that's the true reason for the Magnus pick. Go for the 4-man RP skewered into like 8 of the remote mines. But we'll have to see how they want to go with that. And I'm sure Great
10
Frivals, they're
seconds to
probably
go.
a little annoyed by this. Not even just having to play against techies, but
5
it's a
seconds.
little bit of a slap in the face when somebody picks techies up against you. So we'll see if maybe they lights a little bit of fire
Reserve
in them and
time.
they want to really fight for this qualifying position that they're going for. But we'll have to see what their final pick here is. I also wonder if it's going to be a Beastmaster mid. That's one place I've seen the hero run quite a bit, and he usually does fairly well. You can just go for max level of the boar and really harass people out with that the double boar there.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I mean, I don't know if they'll put him up against the Magnus. It'll be
Dyer's ban.
kind of iffy in that situation, but they do go for an aggressively natured support, as I mentioned, and they are going to pick up the Chen here, so they are going to have the Telekinesis into the War Stomp, or even the Thunderclap from the creeps he's able to get up there. So they should have a lot of early potential, and that's exactly what you want to do up versus an AM, but with the techies pickup, they're going to be a little hard pressed to be roaming around through these jungles and little nooks and crannies in the map to try and find this AM. Look for the techies to kind of posture up defensively with his mines, find a few early kills, and it'll be interesting to see how they lane it. They might even put the techies in the off lane alongside the Lich, which will allow him to find a decent amount of farm. Later on, it'll allow them to push and really anti-mage, the only carry potential you need. There could be a Doom pickup here from Great Frivals, being that Weeaboo does have kind of all their eggs in one basket with this anti-mage here. So I wouldn't be too surprised to see that come out or even banned here, being that they do have this techies pickup and they probably will need another support here for their 5th pick.
Hmm. And as far as Great Frivals go, at least they have 2 heroes that can roam around up against techies very easily. Beastmaster can always see where techies is roaming to with the Hawk and can go ahead and blow mines up with his boars. Chen as well can use the creeps to blow up the mines. Maybe if he gets some Troll Warlord, summon some skeletons, and just send in the Suicide Squad. But we'll see how that goes, and I'm incredibly curious as to how they're gonna run that. If they want to maybe dual lane mid with with Lich techies, and then offlane Magnus and grab some sort of strong zoning support. Like what would be decent? That maybe a lion or something along those lines to cover their anti-mage and just kind of keep the pressure off, or a shaker or something.
Yeah, Skywrath not bad as well
Yeah.
versus the Juggernaut. It's pretty good zoning support.
Coming out from Weeaboo though, so they get rid of some more through BKB control that and an offlaner. Great Frivals. I think that's a good ban there. We'll see what they want to go for next. So.
It's very similar to the Doom in the sense that you bring the lasso to take the anti-mage completely out of the fight. Lasso into a primal roar, especially if they isolate him for that Omni Slash, is more often than not going to be a kill. So definitely an understandable ban from Weeaboo, and arguably a much stronger laner than the Doom is. Doom definitely has the recovery mechanic of retreating to the jungle, but the Batrider even more so inclined to do that and does have a little bit better farming prowess in that sense. So very smart ban coming out from Weeaboo. We'll see what Great Frivals take out of the pool. It'll be interesting to see what their insights are on the role of the techies thus far. I definitely expect it to be a dual lane with the Lich, but for now, I really feel like they need something behind this anti-mage to babysit it. And they're going to ban out the Tree Ant Protector, so certainly a very good babysitter in that right.
One Ranger's going to be the final pickup, so somebody that they can run mid or solo lane, depending on wherever they want to. And shout out to Hit Clouds in chat, actually mentioned this. Rubik versus Techies. Heal the last use mines, and then there's 2 sets of Techies on the map. This is this is going to be absurd coming up shortly. But Great Frivals, what is it they need? I assume their Beastmaster is mid at this point. That's what I'm assuming. Offlane Beastmaster, I think, is should be okay. I imagine they could use maybe a slightly stronger one. They're gonna pick up Doom. Oh wow, okay, that doesn't tell us anything. They could run Doom or Beastmaster mid or off each of them. So we'll have to wait and see. Your thoughts? Where do you think they're gonna go with that?
Well, Yeah, I think the Beastmaster is strongest mid with offlane Doom, and definitely it's something I called a little bit earlier, and it makes perfect sense. They really are all in on this anti-mage beyond 30 minutes, so they're going to rely heavily on him not being eliminated from the fight, and having that delete button available to GFR is much like the lasso from the Bat Rider. So it's an absolutely perfect pick. For their lineup, it does make the offlane a little bit weak. And Gul'dan did play the off lane or the solo lane at least last game on the Bristleback. So I expect him to take this towards the off lane unless they run aggro, which is definitely not probably going to be the case with a Chen on their side. So he'll be able to retreat to the jungle, but having that Doom is certainly going to be invaluable for them later on.
Yeah, and there'll be a lot of competition for the jungle farm if Doom has to rotate back through it. But right at the beginning, before we see where Techies is going, I'm going to quickly introduce the Radiant. GFR, we've got Hunter playing the Rubik, Sile is playing the Chen. On the Beastmaster, it's Chimax. Now Gamer is playing the Juggernaut, and Gruul is playing the Doom.
Yeah, so we've got on the side of Weeaboo, Techies picked up by Pandeo. He's already headed over to that side shop in order to plant some mines. In the mid lane, it's currently got Corey on the anti-mage. So it'll be interesting to see if it's a dual lane Lich anti-mage in the mid. Going towards that safe lane is Dismech, who was the solo safe lane player or off lane player on the Timber, so should be by himself. Rhyme on the Lich, going to accompany that anti-mage middle. And finally, MSS playing on one of his signature heroes, at least from what I remember in the Magnus.
So it looks like they are going to run that offlane mag, and I think this dual lane mid should do very well. Lich going to be able to get the extra experience they need and zone the Beastmaster out. He's going to have a very tough time. He started with the pets, so no axes there to CS. One nice thing though is at least the axes are fairly good against anti-mage. Now completely physical damage, what with those recent changes, and they don't have to worry about them spell shield blocking too much damage. There's 3 mines down there, so if somebody walks into shop range from the bottom, they are going to die. We'll have to somehow try and keep an eye on that, but we'll see what they want to do. Maybe they're rotating things around. Windranger is coming down, probably just to help contest the rune. Doom is there as well, so we'll see which teams want to go for it. But so far, just a lot of everybody staying on their side of the map, except for Pandago and the Techies.
Yeah, Dismech should be able to take this bounty rune in the top river, no problem. Will be Gul'dan solo on the Doom in the safe lane. We're gonna have a telekinesis onto MSS. He's not able to cliff him. However, a little bit interesting there. Would have been able to skewer away regardless. He's just going to take a bit of harass. But either way, their bounty rune going the way of Now's Juggernaut. So 1 for 1 in the bounty runes is not going to be quite over just yet. But it looks like it'll be a Doom versus a Windrainer in this safe lane currently. And Gul'dan should have a lot better time than traditionally on a Doom in the offlane.
I wonder if they're going to rotate the Dismech to the offlane and MSS up against the Doom. I think that would be a lot. Looks like that's what they're doing now. PP picked up by Dismech, gonna grab the CS here, and Windranger would fare a lot better up against this tri-lane than the Magnus would. She can CS from very far range, the power shot, as well as just being a range show in general, and Magnus can probably zone the Doom with Shockwave fairly effectively. So we'll see.
Yeah, so they are going to make that trade up. And as you mentioned, definitely with the attack animation from Dismech as well as the range, it's going to be a lot better to find some farm and even perhaps some harass in this lane. MSS going to be able to spam down Gul'dan. But Doom is innately tanky up against magic damage, so they should trade fairly evenly in this one. Big HP pool on the Doom, starts with a 701 there, so looking very good for Gul'dan to find his farm. And they're going to have to be a little bit worried about Corey. Perhaps we do see that Lincoln Sphere build from him at some point, albeit there is quite a bit to cancel it.
I thought he was going in there. He's got slippers and a stout shield, so he's going to be building the poor man's shield. And I thought he was going off to the side shop to grab it. He headed that way and then turned around, so very close there. But I thought he was going to step on the mines. I got a little excited.
Mid lane, Chimax going 2v1 versus the Lich and Corey, and with that early point in the Call of the Wild, doing quite a bit of work, so he has been able to harass him down. Also, the Chen creep there with the Hadouken available to help him out from Sile, so looking pretty good in this mid lane is Chimax's Beastmaster up against the dual lane, but Corey definitely not too hard-pressed to find his farms. Got 7 CS thus far.
Up in the top lane, MSS doing fairly well up against the Doom. 8-3 up against Doom's 4-0, so winning the lane so far. Windranger not doing too bad. 5-0 down in this bottom lane. Obviously not going to be able to keep pace with the Juggernaut, but getting some CS at least, so they're not. It's not all lost for her. And mid lane, anti-mage,
Now,
what's he doing?
side chop.
Oh,
He does pick up his boots, but he actually rotates to the north side. So we'll
uh,
see if he grabs that Wraith Band. He actually's grabbed a Circlet, so he's going to grab a Wraith Band instead of the PMS, perhaps. And maybe that means he will survive for the time being. Yeah, he is going to opt for that early Aquila, more likely than not.
oh, top lane, Pandago's got Suicide Squad. He's actually going to drop a mine here in the corner. Oh, they're going to skewer him. They're trying to skewer him into it, into the Suicide and the mine. Starting to get a little fancy here. Oh, duking it out, but not going to go it. Wonder if Ghoul, how much attention he's paying, if he noticed that he was trying to be skewered off to the side. Oh, there it is. Skewer back. The Suicide's there. It's not quite enough. One more right click and MSS is going to be able to get first slide. So, Techies making an appearance on the map.
Yeah, already playing dividends thus far. Mid lane, Frostpass goes out onto Max. The Wild Axe is going to bring Corey very low, though, on this anti-mage, and he's going to have to blink out to the north to keep himself safe for now. Should be able to stay in lane just fine, though, even with that ice armor. He's able to bottle up as well, and they're going to be able to bring down these units pretty reliably. Bottom lane, Troll rotates in with the net, but Wind Ranger more than safe for Dismech, and already has a point up in the win run as well. So they are going to have to lock her down for a full duration Blade Fury, more likely than not to kill her.
They can go for the lift, pull back into the Troll net, and
yeah,
I'm surprised Chen doesn't have a second creep. He's got level 2 on his Holy Persuasion there, so not going for anything yet. But they are going to net the Wind Ranger, and that's way too deep to dive. You can't really go for that, so they're going to have to just back off. Techies is up top, throwing out more mines here in this spot so that Magnus has somewhere to skewer to. Not a bad call at all, so we'll see if they're able to make use of that. But so far, this bottom tower just getting pressured down by the Chen creeps. Dismech doing a pretty good job of zoning him back. Gonna get netted up. Telekinesis as well. Maybe goes a little bit too forward. Eats a lot of pure damage and getting body blocked very nicely. Not gonna go down just yet. A couple of ranged attacks fly through and she does drop. But now TP coming in from the Techies. He does not have Suicide Squad. Actually cancels it. Would not have had mana for a mine. So they're gonna back off. And this might be the death of the tier 1 bottom.
Yeah, it's one downfall of Techies, right? He's not like a traditional support in that you can rotate him in, and they will take this tier 1 here in the bottom lane. Gonna try and give that last hit over to Sile, but he whiffs on that, and it's gonna be split between the Radiant, so a little unfortunate not to pick that up for the Chen. Rotating towards the side chop is Hunter once again, choosing the north path. And no one gonna fall to these mines quite yet. Pandago gonna be scouted out by the Hawk here. From the Beastmaster, so no surprises from those mines for the time being.
Oh, he saw where the Hawk was, and Dismech throws out a quick power shot and cleans it up, so gets the vision away from them. And Beastmaster, is he still doing alright? He's having a tough time in the mid lane, unsurprisingly. This is a very difficult dual lane in the mid to deal with. Lich providing a lot of lane control for them, as well as the bonus experience and denying it from the Beastmaster. And Sorrow doing very well, 30-5 on as far as CS goes. Actually second on the chart.
Top lane. He screwed back into the mines, and the Doom gonna be finished off. And as soon as MSS picks up that level 6, he'll pick up level 7. Very nice kill onto Golgon.
And MSS making the plays there. Pandago is probably just laughing to himself, as the Techies often do. Techies is one of those heroes where it's incredibly fun to play when you're getting kills with the mines, but if you're not and you're just dying, it's like one of the worst things ever.
I feel like a heroin addict every time I play Techies. It's just like such big highs and such low lows. Chamax, Primal Roar, bot lane onto Dismech, and they should be able to crit him down. Wind Run is there, however, and now Gamer not able to get in range for this Blade Fury. No Rubik available to them or Chen Creep to lock down the Windrunner. And that's the first usage of Primal Roar, and it won't garner any success. But either way, not the biggest cooldown at this point in the game, only 80 seconds. So.
And more mines coming out on the side lane, so they're probably going to look to rotate the Magnus down over here and maybe look for some more skewers, but we'll have to see. Hopefully GMX doesn't throw to Hawk, otherwise they'll know that something's going on there. And they go off to the side. Doing fairly well as far as levels for Techies. He's level 4 now, so not doing too bad. Lich is almost level 6. Maybe look to see the Chain Frost RP combination coming out here soon.
Side chop.
Oh. Oh.
Been waiting for it all game. Damn it. Everyone choosing that north path, but either way, He will complete up his phase boot, so looking very good on the Juggernaut. Pretty much the one beacon of hope here, as Sile hasn't really been able to sit in the jungle and farm all that much. He is level 5, so not too far behind, but well off his mechanism, and hasn't been able to give free farm, trying to be rotating around. And it seems like Weeaboo kind of is the beneficiary of this, seeing that they do have a techies and yet have been able to find a lot of farm on all their cores.
And when you have a techies, you have to kind of expect that you're going to sack a couple towers early, and they've only given up one so far, especially up against a Chen Beastmaster lineup. That's just a lot of creeps in general going to be hitting towers. And as I mentioned that though, they do have a wild skin for the armor aura and the troll for the extra summons, so they're going to look to pressure this mid tower. We do have Magnus rotating in. He does not have his blink yet. Very close though. He's at 1800 gold. There's Order Shockwave going to get netted up. Has Skewer if he needs to use it, but not yet. Anti-Mage, keep blinking around too. He's got the DD rune down in the bottom. Oh, the Shackle, it does latch, but the Centaur's there. Dismech not able to go, and now it looks like they're just going to be able to clean up a couple of the Chen creeps and pressure them back. Mines start being placed off on the side as well.
Yep, no high ground vision from the Radiant either, except for over here by their rune. So not sure that they were able to see that one. Wave was on the high ground, presumably at the moment, so probably did. But either way, they're going to back off for the time being. Nice rotations in from Weeaboo, and they don't really expend anything in terms of their big cooldowns. It does give a little bit of space over to Gul'dan, who's got, he looks like a naked Aghanims rush on him. Very interesting choice on the Doom. But he's picked up his level 7, so we'll look to use that ultimate sometime here soon.
Probably hoping that they can either come out from a smoke or some other type of control onto the AM, get the Doom off, and then just chase, and not having to worry about it wearing off and the AM blinking away. But AM farming up the bottom lane, pushing it out, and forcing now Gamer to rotate in. He's got to be careful. Now does have a DD rune, so he do quite a bit of damage there, but he does have his Omnis. Both people having to play it safe. Lich now level 6 though, and see if they want to go on this. Doesn't look like they're gonna. Juggernaut, not the best hero to go on with a Lich, as won't take too much damage from the Chain Frost, but it will at least bounce off of him, not being disjointed completely and stopped.
Yeah, certainly so. But yeah, not the juiciest target as a solo hero, definitely. Sorrow probably going to grab up some farm in this bot lane. He picks up his Ring of Health on the way to his Battle Fury, so should be a decent timing on him. 56 CS, 10 minutes in is not bad. It's not amazing. Something like 70 could be a lot better. But Sorrow going to try and drag him into these mines here, perhaps. And he should be able to do so successfully. It might be a little bit bait, but actually he's able to do it. Mana Void not going to be there, as he is pretty full in terms of his mana pool, but either way he's going to be able to heal up by virtue of that healing ward. And mid lane, meanwhile, they are going to find a very favorable engagement, and with these mines should be able to bring down this tower fairly quickly, albeit the glyph has been popped.
We were watching bottom and I didn't quite see it, but I believe it was a 3-man RP skewer into the techie mines. And as techies did, or at least a 2-man, they did get a double kill, and with the mines they're going to do a lot of damage to this mid tower, probably able to take it down. There is no glyph, so it'll be dropping very shortly. And Ego doing a very nice job, him and MSS working together very well as far as the mines go. Dismech's actually going to land the shackle, but it doesn't look like they are. Maybe they do. Get the skewer back, lots of damage coming out on GMX, and he's going to drop. Wind Ranger picking up that final kill. Now Chen rotating through. The Ice Blast comes out doing a lot of damage, but unfortunately it bounces back. Oh, to the creeps, and it stops bouncing there, and now Chen has dropped down. MSS picking up that kill, but not sure if they're going to be able to go. Shackle's not going to latch, and Shockwave comes back. Not a lot of damage coming out from that Mana Void, but enough to bring down the Rubik with one last Shockwave. MSS picks up a double kill. And off the back of that, Dismech buys a Hand of Midas, so nicely done there. And a lot more of these remote and landmines coming out.
Yeah, and the network's starting to get a little bit out of control here for the only relevant hero right now, really, for GFR is the Juggernaut, and Gul'dan's keeping up decently, but since he's been completely left unchecked in that top lane, you expect him to be a little bit more farmed on this Doom. 2 components of the Aghanims, so 1200 in gold away from that full thing, but with no blink initiation from him, he's going to rely heavily on the Primal Roar and the Telekinesis to allow him to close the distance, and not sure that he's going to be able to do so against a pretty mobile lineup in Weeaboo. They got the Wind Run, they've got the Shackle, the Blink Away, as well as the Skewer. So they do pop some mines here in the mid lane, which is nice for GFR, but things looking to get out of control for them.
Especially once Techie starts getting more of these remote mines around on the ground, it'll be a lot easier for them to to get these kills. He won't have to worry about the Chen creeps blowing him up and stuff like that. But so far, it doesn't seem to have been an issue, as the Techies is 3-1-2, and the one death was a suicide. Nicely done by him, being very effective. Oh, blink back from MSS, not going to go. Rubik does get Shockwave, nice thing to steal. Anything you can get from Magnus is very nice to grab. He's a very good hero to play Rubik up against.
Yeah, for sure. Corey's farming freely bot lane, and he's got the creep wave being cut as well. And there's no response currently from GFR. He should be able to bring down this tier 1 very low, if not totally take it. And he's going to find a lot of momentum, 1,000 gold in addition to his perseverance already. So he's really not very far off that Battle Fury. He only needs about 1,600 gold for that in total. So things looking good for the anti-mage here. He's sitting second overall on the net worth chart. And Pendago, waiting for the skewer into the mines, is going to find now. And with the suicide there as well, brings him very low. One last right click from Saro. Goes about as perfectly as it could have for Weeaboo, even giving the last hit over to their anti-mage. And that's the highest net worth target on GFR going down.
And also able to grab that tower and the last hit, so going to be very close to that Battle Fury now. He's only about 600 away from it, and it's going to be coming out very shortly. Mid lane is getting pressured by the Chen army, but that Frost Armor is doing some work, keeping that tower alive, forcing the creeps back, and Chen loses a lot of them, so a little bit unfortunate there. But I believe, does he almost have his mech? He should have his mech coming out to him very soon. Maybe their team fight, or at least their 5-man ball, will be a little bit stronger there. Once he gets his mana back, they can try and push again with the mech and the Hand of God up and running as well once he rebuilds his army. But it's just, this push lineup that they have with the Chen is just not doing as much early as they need it to. I'm just worried for them, especially with how zoned they are by the Techies.
I mean, even if they ball up, they don't have enough firepower, and with the RP available to MSS, and Saro is doing as well as he is, he can even fight on this anti-mage. It's going to be a 15-minute or so Battle Fury on him. He's only 150 gold away from that, so it will be a very nice timing for this AM, and I worry for GFR, as you mentioned as well. Juggernaut is not going to scale quite as well. He's going to look to take down Saro, but easy blink out, and he won't be able to chase him to a position for the Omni Slash. No Omni Slash used quite yet in this game, if I recall correctly, and they really need to start finding something off of that ultimate.
I haven't seen one come out yet, and Omni Slash is actually a very good ability up against the anti-mage early, especially if he's already used a blink, or you have some other type of lift form. Physical damage is the way to deal with anti-mage before he gets late and gets an immense amount of agility. But looks like they're ready to ball up again. They've got 2 Ursa Warriors and a Wild Wing. They've got some R's coming out and a lot of beef to put up in that front line. But we'll see if they want to go. They did leave the Wolf. Looks like they're just waiting to grab it. Chen, unfortunately, not level 7 yet. Doom is just going to eat it. Now they'll look to push. Oh, top lane getting pushed in by Techies and the Lich. Not a lineup I would normally consider strong at pushing, but looks like they'll be able to get that tower.
Smoke rotation may be popped here by the invisibility rune of Corey, and he is able to do so. But there's a sentry on the ground. He'll be able to blink out, though, as Sile kind of reveals that by right-clicking him rather than waiting for some disable from Hunter behind him. So easily extricating himself from the situation is Corey there. And Smoke Gang thwarted, and I really got to question this pickup. Chamax is going for Necro Books. And like, I understand the point of your lineup that you do want to push, but up against this Ice Armor, up against RP, and without your Doom building into a blink, you really need to rely on that Primal Roar for initiation. And building into that Necro Book, I feel like they're really not going to have any initiation power, and in that sense, can't reliably get this Doom off onto the anti-mage.
And now a second Blink Dagger picked up on the side of Weeaboo, and they're going to start to snowball very quickly as far as experience and gold. But it looks like now Gamer is going to be able to take down Roshan with the help of the Chen army and the board, doing a pretty good job of it, able to tank it up and spread the damage out. So he will snag it, and he's going to get the experience almost solo. Doom might soak, he does soak a little bit of it, so not completely solo, but they do grab Roshan, and off of this they can maybe look to take a fight, even if the Juggernaut does eat the set of mines or an RP or something like that. We'll be okay.
Yeah, definitely smart giving the Doom some XP. Top lane, Corey going to be able to blink out just fine. Mask of Madness, not enough to chase him down from now Gamer. Probably even with the Ashe, wouldn't have been able to do so. But yeah, Doom able to eclipse level 11 here soon after that Roshan experience. So that'll be nice with his Aghanims pickup. But once again, I worry for his ability to reliably enter these engagements and get it off on a significant target. Excuse me.
And GMX is gonna get shackled. They're not gonna go. I still don't know if I've seen Doom actually use Doom.
Yeah, no, he hasn't.
A lot of these spells just not being used yet, and I'm not sure what they're waiting for. Techies, I hear him placing mines. He's got another pile coming up here. Magnus is in the area, but these ones would have been spotted out by the Hawk. They do have nice vision of that, but they can only get rid of so many of the mines with their minions, and then they have to go deward them themselves. I mean, they have an okay lineup. Both Rubik and Chen 600 range. Doom's actually going to walk over top of a mine, remote mine, but it's going to be okay. It's only one, so there's no real point in popping it.
Yeah, definitely. So mid lane, they are going to look to amass towards this tier 1, which is pretty low. Glyph is available, however, and they are looking to mount the defense on the sidelines. Doom is going to be popped onto Rhyme's Lich, and he will drop here. Remote Mine going to be popped with the Frost Blast. Not quite enough to get anyone down. Mid lane, though, they are lacking a couple
another big
of
pile. MSS, gonna go. They've got a big pile of them there, but doesn't see the opening, and not going to risk it.
Yeah, it would have been big with a nice couple, at least multiple hero RP. But either way, they do have Corey pushing in this off lane, and that is going to force commitment back from the side of GFR. But this is going to bring their tier 2 fairly low, and unfortunately for the side of they're not able to find anyone retreating, straggling in the back line. So a nice little engagement, a little win for GFR. They do get that tier 1 in the mid as well as the Lich there, but still not sure if it's quite enough at this point. They do have the Roshan as well, so they are certainly making strides to get back into this one.
And Anti-Mage now going to be farming incredibly fast with that Vlad's Battle Fury build coming out, as well as the Empower. Level 3 Empower as well. Or sorry, level 2 Empower as well. Out onto him. So he's going to push very quickly and can probably clear up these Chen creeps if he wants to. Going to burn through him pretty quick, but Rubik forces him back, baiting out the telekinesis attempt there, and Anti-Mage is going to blink away. Now maybe they look to snowball down this top tower. Magnus is here again. If they have a pile of mines, they do have a small one here off to the side. Pandago not in the area, but maybe with that little bit of help from those mines that are already there, they can defend. But
yeah, and Corey's opted for this early Vlad, so he's definitely fightable at this point. Level 14 on the Anti-Mage is by far the largest in the game at this point, to the level 11 of the Beastmaster, Doom, and Juggernaut Tricore. Rhyme is going to have the smoke popped. He's going to try and back up, but the movement speed should be enough for now. He is going to get fogged casting that Omnislash the first time, but I should be able to just actually, again, going to be fogged. And the third time, going to be fogged. And he's just getting juked out of his mind at this point. Rhyme, with a TP available, can look to TP out in the tree lines. Not going to look to do so. And actually, the Juggernaut just going to happily farm up this wave. And that is probably one of the sadder things I've seen in Dota 2 Canada Cup.
Yeah, the jukes are too real from Rhyme. Oh, you can't even handle that. And you know what? Normally you think of supports as very slow, but you forget how fast Lich is. He's got Tranquils up, 405 movement speed.
Yeah,
was a
plus
fair
the
bit
ice
faster.
armor slow.
Yeah, it's just funny. It was
Yeah.
very nicely played by him, and manages to not give a kill up there. So, well done. Again, another rotation coming in. They're gonna rotate to defend this. Lich is now back, but be okay. MSS rotating in. They have a pile of mines off to the right-hand side there, and maybe look to see another set. But it doesn't look like it.
Yeah, Blink now picked up by Gul'dan, so he finally will be able to reliably blink in on this Anti-Mage and get a Doom off. Not sure if it'll be enough for them to win the fight. It'll be, barring a huge RP, they should be able to do so with the Anti-Mage doomed up. But they do not currently have their Juggernaut with them, so now free farming off in the top lane, looking to push that in, but not sure if that's exactly the correct choice with this Battle Fury. Infinitely faster. Yeah, sorry, I'm not sure if I cut out there, but just saying, Anti-Mage should be able to farm infinitely faster than this Jug, so they really need to ball up and start to find things, but he is going to look to take this tier 1.
And a much quieter game than it was in game 1.
Yeah.
A lot of, I mean, you expect to see lots of plays coming up from heroes like the Wind Ranger, but she's very quiet, 1-1-1. And not that she's farming bad or playing poorly at all. Oh, where did those mines blow up? Maybe, oh, they're just defending the creep wave in the mid lane. No one walking on anything there, but I'm surprised you haven't seen too many of these plays, and they're starting to get mines piled up everywhere, and a lot of Midases picked up. 3 Midases on the side of Weeaboo. So they've got, the longer this goes and the longer it stays like this very passive game, the better it is for them. And speaking of passive farming, Anti-Mage clearing up what looks like a triple stack in his own Ancients now as well. So really accelerating that farm.
He'll have a Manta style very soon. here. Not too far off that at all. Only needs about a couple hundred more gold for that recipe. So top lane now looking for some blood, but Dismech with the win run, not the most ideal target. Will maybe look to bait it out with the Blade Fury here and then pop the Omni Slash afterwards. Will catch a Shackle, however. Win run is there. He is going to pop it though and going to bring down that Wind Ranger. He'll be able to Blade Fury TP out, but the RP is there. This will be a big kill for the side of Weeaboo if they're able to bring him down, and they should be able to do so just fine. Even a remote mine tossed out by Pandigo, and he's going to take it with style with that suicide. Corey not even rotating in for that one.
Oh. Pandigo says, nope, my kill. Blows up and brings down the Juggernaut. And I mean, sure the techies died, but techies put a stop. And this is, it's just so frustrating to deal with.
Yeah.
That's the second time Juggernauts died to techies, I think. I think both deaths have been, or well, the bottom lane death was because of techies.
Yeah, it was very close. But the right click found by the anti-mage in the bottom lane. But either way, yeah. Pandigo really has been a presence in this one, and often it's a feast or famine pick. And I like that they coupled it up with the Magnus, pretty much ensuring that this techies is going to be able to do stuff. And if you look at the positioning of the mines, most of them are not visible unless you place a really cheeky sentry ward and do have some predictability there. So with that skewer available to them, they make Pandigo a lot more effective than he would be in general.
Yeah. Oh. What is this courier doing? They're committing a lot for that Dark Soul Summoner. They end up getting it in the end, but they're chasing it down. Looks like a ancient stack or small stack cleared up by the Juggernaut, and Anti-Mage gonna continue farming.
He actually took that. Corey took that stack as well as killing the Doom there. So massive blow to the economy of GFR, and they lost their Doom as well. So.
Beastmaster's got his level 2 Necro Book on the way if he wants it. Very close to level 3. Probably just wait for that. We're gonna see Roshan potentially spawning in a couple of seconds. We'll see how long it is for that. I imagine Weeaboo is just gonna wait for Roche and before they do any major pushing. I don't see any reason. There's absolutely no reason why they shouldn't. They've got everything they need to... Oh, it's actually going to be an instant respawn. Look at this. And...
Top lane, they're going to catch out MSS. He's got an RP available to him, though, but is going to use it, and luckily he dies before it gets off there. So he's not going to be able to waste that cooldown. But either way, feeds himself over a nice sentry down there from the Chen, and they will pick him off. Meanwhile, though, split pushing happening with 4 illusions in the bot lane from Corey, and he's going to bring down this tier 2 to about 3/4 HP. But
he actually gets doomed up, and Ice Blast comes out. They're going to be able to finish him off. They do get the Doom again, and... Oh, Juggernaut's rotating in, gonna get all his mana burnt up by those illusions, so they're gonna have to back off. Anti-Mage is still gonna drop very low here, probably gonna have to get denied. This is gonna be hard. Oh, he gets it. I was just thinking, Anti-Mage is pretty tanky. He's got a lot of armor, so I was a little worried that Lich wouldn't be able to do enough damage, might mistime it, but they get the deny as well, so even though their Anti-Mage went down, they're able to prevent Doom from getting anything.
Yeah, certainly so, and Aghanim's Doom doing a lot of damage there, but they bring him down and they deny over any gold, and Anti-Mage able to buy out a Basher as well, so Corey looking very good, 6k ahead of now on his Juggernaut in terms of the net worth, and with only an SNY, I really fear for his ability to scale in this one. They are going to chase down Rhyme here, and with the Boar Slow should be able to do so just fine. He's going to Midas up one of the Chen creeps as his last dying wish, but he'll be fed over, and that will give them some space here to bring down perhaps this tier 2. RP still available, but not too many mines around. There is this one little pack of 3 to the east of the tower, so if they get too far forward, MSS should be able to find something here. They will be able to clean up the wave pretty reliably. This could be a big RP if he goes for it here.
Not wanting to go in just the 2. There's a 3-man one if he wants it, but still waiting. Techies is now in the area, so we'll see. Centaur's going to stomp Dismech on the backside. RP connects onto 2. He's going to skewer him back into the mines. A lot of damage. Instantly brings down the Chen. Juggernaut dropped very low, but so far still alive. Now looking to turn around. Roar comes on to MSS. 4-step backwards towards his base, so doing all right there. Anti-Mage blinks forward, gets the first hit bash, and now looking to finish off Now Gamer. Oh, the Mana Void not quite there. He lives with 20 health. One more right click going to be enough to finish him off. That's it on the backside. GMX getting caught up and brought down. The Fade Bolt, though, comes through and does finish off DMX. And, oh, Rubik stole Blink, but couldn't get it off quite in time. And a very nice 4-for-2 exchange coming out in favor of Weeaboo. They lose their Techies and the Wind Ranger. Techies you always expect to lose, so not a loss there.
Really not a big deal at all. And they're going to jump into Roche with the ice armor as well. And Corey going to be able to solo this up with relative ease, as it is still a level 1 of Roshan here. And as you mentioned, they're going to be able to go high ground with this as soon as they do get that RP back up off of cooldown and have their Wind Ranger respawning here. So looking to be at about that territory where it's a little bit insurmountable for GFR. If you look at the metrics, 12k net worth lead, 15k generated by Weeaboo.
And now Anti-Mage is going to go and aggressively farm up the enemy jungle, and I imagine they'll just rotate this into a push. They're going to have RP up in 34 seconds. One of the really nice things... Oh, Techies? No, just blowing up creeps in the mid lane. But what I was saying is RP, very nice, short, relatively short cooldown for how strong of a controlling spell it is. 3 seconds right now, 3.75 at max, and only 100-second cooldown. So significantly shorter than things like Ravage and Song of the Siren and different large-scale controlling ultis like that. I mean, Siren Song is only 60 at max, but more Ravage, I guess, I'm comparing it to.
Yeah, definitely so. And they'll take this tier 2 tower probably unabated here. They are going to look to mount some sort of defense here. Ghoul is at the ready with the Blink Doom, but Sorrow's got a lot of defense behind him, and he should be just fine. He's got 3,200 gold in addition to the Aegis, so they don't want to blow that Doom on him, and just to have him respawn and wreck their entire lineup. They need to be very careful about the usage of their spells, and they don't even have the Beastmaster with him at this point. So Telekinesis up onto Corey. They're going to drop him back. He's going to Manta instantly, shackle into the RP. 3-man RP, Chain Frost bouncing through Mana Void as well, and everyone going to get dunked from the side of GFR, and now only a Centaur Conqueror to defend up their base along with his master, and Sile turning tail and running towards the fountain. This is going to be an easy lane of racks, if not GG.
I'm not sure if they're going to call GG off this, as there's no other tier 2s down, unless Weeaboo want to go straight for tier 4s. They don't have the other racks, or the tier 3s exposed, so they can't go for them. They're going to probably notice that now. Rubik does have buyback, they're not going to spend it, and I imagine GFR... sorry about that. I imagine GFR, they're going to hang it out for now and see if there's something they can do. They do have a very strong late game with the Doom. If he can somehow stay alive for these fights and get a Doom up on the Anti-Mage. There's just a little bit of hesitation there where they thought about dooming the AM but didn't quite want to commit to it.
Yeah, definitely so. Corey at this point sitting at 787 GPM, and as our resident stats man shows you, gold wins games. Last game it was what, 95.7% win chance as it stood, and is now in excess of 96. So we looking really good at this point, and really they don't have any reliable ways to deal with this Anti-Mage as long as he still wields this Aegis. So things not looking too good for GFR here, and no reliable initiation from Chamax. I really got to harp on it again. That Necrobook pickup just really underwhelming for me, as opposed to the Blink. He's gonna get Abyssalled up and melted down in the top lane, and Sile probably next to fall. Mana Void gonna finish things off there. Neo is gonna drop the Omni Slash, but a lot of wave as well as illusions here to soak that up. Mana Void stolen and dropped onto the Anti-Mage, but not enough bashes coming out from the Juggernaut. Triple kill all by his lonesome for Corey, and he'll chase further to find the ultra kill, and he will get it onto the Rubik, and the GG is called. Quick 2-0 from Weeaboo here in the Dota 2 Canada Cup Season 4 main qualifiers.
And a very impressive performance. The Techies actually did stuff. They were not just that blank pick. They rotated around well, and they certainly prevented a lot of push. Very tough to put the Chen creeps in there when they keep getting blown up and taken down. And all in all, just Daro on the Anti-Mage, just too much farm. 860 gold per minute and 1056 experience per minute. Very impressive showing for them and Weeaboo in general. They move on to the next round of the Dota 2 Canada Cup main qualifiers. I am Wolf Dota. Joining me was MRP Dota. Any little shoutouts, or where can they follow you at?
Yeah.